Alright, and welcome back to another episode. Just like usual, I'm just going to carry on. I'm actually going to go ahead and I feel like I should add more to the other level before we move on. So I'm going to go ahead and open... Oh, wait, I forgot to click. Yeah, save. Okay, so now I'm going to open up the hangar. And I'm just going to make sure that it's well decorated and it's ready to start, you know, texturing. So once this loads up, there we go. As you can see, it's still kind of a bit. I want to say empty. I mean, I could always add stuff later on, like a forklift or a space forklift. I don't know. Is there anything we can add? Let's go ahead and take a look at some inspiration. So we've got to Google Images again and space hangar. I'm pretty sure I've searched that before. And I'm just gonna take a look and see. They've got floor lights. Don't know why it's taking forever to load, or just view image. Okay, I think our spaceship looks better. Yeah, yeah, our spaceship definitely looks better, right? You're meant to agree with me, right? Okay, so that's pretty bland anyway. See, most of them just empty. And just like has lights everywhere. Oh, here we go. This one's quite full. Nah, it's just full of spaceships. Just full of spaceships. And here we can. I guess we could have a. Yes, we're gonna have a plasma on the wall. Okay, let's go ahead and make a plasma TV. So I'm gonna go ahead and add in our TV, which will be this cube. It's a very special cube. Make a widescreen. Have it like so. That is massive. But it's supposed to be, right? Because, you know, TVs in space, they're just like amazing, right? I don't know. I've never been to space, so I can't really comment on what it's like. So I'm just gonna get the general outline of a TV. As you can see, very general. I'm just going to go ahead and squeeze that up a little bit. There we go. There's a plasma. Plasma TV. And I don't know, maybe we can make it so the user can like view statistics or something on it. I'm just going to go ahead and move that to the wall. It's too big for that wall. We'll size it down a little bit. Yep, there we go, it's inside the wall. I would say remove the back for optimization, but we don't know where we're going to put this plasma. We could even have it like laying on the floor broken. But no, we're going to delete the back. Optimization, right? We'll delete that bit. Go back to object mode and place it back in the wall. There we go, it's perfect. Maybe up a bit. No, we want it in line with the door. There we go, so we're going to go ahead and save. Alright, now I'm thinking we may as well, for now, just build the walls on. I'm thinking, I can just do this, right? Just grab all these. I was actually thinking about just building this shape, the walls, inside of Unity. Because then we'll have... Let's see if this works. It does work. Then we could grab all the side. But no. We're gonna make the walls inside Unity. So for now, I'll say that's fine. We can start extracting and texturing later. But for now, let's go ahead and for the first time in this series, we're going to open up Unity. It's going to make a blank project, completely blank, so there's literally nothing. So we'll wait for Unity to start. I'm going to go ahead and save. We don't need that. And we'll just... We don't need Maya open, so I'm going to go ahead and close that. Go ahead and save. Don't know why this folder's here. I'm going to go ahead and delete that. Okay, so we got our models. Everything's right. Okay, so here I am in Unity, everything's blank, and this is actually kind of a mess. So first things first, we're going to go ahead and sort out the layout. I'm going to actually make my own because I don't like any of the presets. We're going to go and make that a one column layout just because that's what I'm used to. I'm going to go ahead and drag it there and have my hierarchy above. So my project will go down here. Just going to drag these in a bit, give me some more workspace. My game I'm actually going to drag and put below, like so. And that is my general workspace. That's how I like to work, and everything's nice and simple. So I'm going to go ahead and create a folder. I'm going to have models. And I'm going to create a folder inside there. And I'm going to have Hangar 1. So that'll handle all the models from there. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. I actually want to go ahead and create a cube, and I'm just going to zero it out. So if you haven't used Unity before, you can see it's really similar to Maya. You have your transform here, your rotations here, and your scale here. We'll go over everything else later. For now, we're just going to do everything as we go along. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the scale tool. I'm going to make the floor. I'm going to make the layout again, except this time inside Unity. So the layout was pretty much like this. I'm going to make sure I keep everything to calculations. So apart from the height, we don't need the height as calculation. But yeah, we do. I'll just make that one. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and just, I'm going to Control D to duplicate that too. While holding Control, I'm going to scroll it out until it attaches straight onto the end there. That way we have two that's completely connected. Actually, no, why are we making it again if we've already made it? I'm just literally just going to do the walls. The floor's already been done, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to have to texture that floor too. It's my phone. So inside Unity we've got everything. I'm actually going to go ahead and right click inside the project and import package. We're going to go ahead and import, which all of you should have, is the character controller. So we're going to import the character controller. We'll wait for that. We'll click import. I'll let it do its thing quick. Doesn't usually take this long. And now that that's done, we should go to standard assets. We should have our first person controller. We don't need to worry about the third person. We're not going to use that. If I click and drag that in, if you guys watched my other tutorials, you'll see that this is just the standard controller. But we're gonna have to edit its script just to get it to do what we want it to, but that's okay because it's got the general movements and it just saves us a lot of time. So I'm gonna go ahead and delete it now because we don't need it right now. And I'm gonna go ahead and minimize that. So I'm gonna go ahead and open the Hangar. That's what I meant to say. Just wait for Maya to open. Okay, so now that that is open, I'm going to go ahead and grab one of the main shapes layout, which is our floor. I'm just going to go to, see this drop box down top left. This basically just changes, because there's so many tools and stuff inside Maya, this basically just changes which one's active at the time. So now, as you can see, if I go ahead and click on rendering, we have a whole load of different options here. So I'm actually going to go head to polygons. We're going to go to create UVs and then click automatic mapping. So just going to click off and go back onto object mode and click on it. I'm going to go to edit UVs and UV texture editor. Now, as you can see, these are the UVs, which is actually really clean. You can go ahead and see what part of the stage is, and you can even go ahead and move them. Oh, my bad. I don't actually want to move it. I like it how it is. Okay, so you can see if I go ahead and click here, if I just hold shift and click multiple, you can see the first floor is right there. And then if I just carry on, you can see the ramp is there, connecting straight onto the second floor, like so. And then that is our floor coverage, and then we have the walls, and we have our curb. I'm just going to ramp, that's it. And that's pretty much all we need. So I'm actually going to go ahead, while I'm still on face, I'm going to go ahead and delete all the faces that we are not going to see, now that we're okay with the layout, now that we know everything's fine. So all the faces that we don't need, I'm going to go ahead and delete. So I'm just going to grab all these. It's probably an easier way to do this. If I go to our favorite view, wait, let me just hit delete first. Wait, we don't need this wall anymore. I'm going to go ahead and delete that wall, now that we have our wall light all ready. So face, I'm just going to go ahead and select all of these, delete them. So I'll delete those. And there we go. You can see it's literally just like a face now. So if I now go back to object mode, if I go to create UVs and automatic mapping, go back to object, go to edit, UV texture editor, you can see all our faces are here. Now I'm just going to go ahead and highlight just so I know where everything is. So that's the first floor. Then the second floor is right there, right next to it. Opening out into the room. So as you can see, it's kind of kept the general layout as well, which is perfect because that's what we need. And then the wall, the ramp, it has literally kept the layout. So first floor, ramp, and then bedroom, and then all I've got to remember is these are the sides, which is perfect. So, I did not mean to close that. I'm going to go back to UV texture editor. I'm going to go to polygons, and I'm going to go to UV snapshot. Okay, now I'm actually going to go to browse. I'm going to go back to my project, which was in my documents and project models. I'm going to go ahead and create a folder called Hangar 1. I'm going to go inside that folder, and I'm actually going to make a separate folder called main floor. I'm going to go ahead and open that, and I'm just going to go ahead and put diffuse, and it's going to go save. Now I want the size to be 4096 because that's what Unity handles. That's the best we can have. I'm going to have it as a PNG as well, and I'm just going to go ahead and hit OK. So now I've hit OK. If I go to that folder, don't know why it keeps making that keyboard folder, I'm just going to leave it. You'll see we have now created the coordinates. So now we can actually import that into Photoshop and edit off it. So I'm going to go ahead and close that. And yeah, so now we have our main floor. I am going to open up Photoshop now. You don't have to use Photoshop. You can even use Paint if you want, just to make your own textures. But if you're following along with me, I'm going to use Photoshop. It's only like £10 a month. Object mode. Okay, so now that that's done, I'm going to go ahead and save that. So that's ready. And how are we for time? Yeah, we'll quickly. So I'm going to wait. Why did I close it? Oh, I didn't. Okay, cool. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the floor which we have just unwrapped. I'm going to go to File. I'm going to go Export Selection, and I'm going to make sure. I'm going to go back to my documents. Go back to my project folder, models, Hangar 1, main floor. I'm going to export as an OBJ. I'm just going to have M underscore, that's meant to be a capital M, underscore floor 1. So I'm just going to go ahead and export that. And now if I minimize, now we have that, that main floor. Don't need the MTL, so I'm going to go ahead and delete that. I'm going to go ahead and click and drag the diffuse straight into Photoshop. And as you can see, it's really hard to see. It's like really faint. So I'm going to go ahead and, I did not mean to create. I'm going to go ahead and double click on the layer, which will bring this up, and I'm just going to add a stroke. And as you can see, the stroke, if I increase the size, it practically just creates an outline on the lines. So I'm just going to hit OK for now. And here's our floor plan. So now we're going to have to make our textures and place them inside the floor plan. And we are going to quickly save this, save as. I'm just going to save this as a PNG. So new diffuse. So I'm going to save that. And I'm just going to quickly show you it inside Unity. We're just going to make sure that it all lines up and everything's right. I'm going to open models, and inside Hangar 1 I'm going to create floor 1. And I'm literally just going to go back to our folder, which contains everything we've just made. I'm just going to click and drag the new diffuse and the floor 1 inside that folder that we just made. So instead of M underscore floor 1, I'm actually going to have OBJ underscore floor 1. So our diffuse, and inside you can see here's our material. So we can have M underscore and floor 1. Hope you can see what I'm doing. OBJ is for object, M is for material, and here we're going to have T underscore floor 1. This is just so we can literally just stay organized. We know what's happening, we know where everything is. And I'm just going to leave that as a diffuse, and I'm just going to click and drag that diffuse onto there. So as you can see, there is our map. And I'm going to go ahead, and that's a texture, that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and increase the size and uncompress it just because right now we're not struggling for space. And if I go ahead and click and drag that in, you can see everything is outlined to what we need. I don't know why that came out like that. Let me go ahead and go, oh right, it's because, let's go back into Photoshop. I'm going to go ahead and create a new layer. On that layer, I'm just going to go ahead and make a massive cube. Right now it's black. I'm going to give it a color overlay, and I'm just going to make it white. Like so. So now it's literally just white with a black outline. So I'm going to go ahead and save as PNG, new diffuse, replace it, hit OK, and now I'm going to go ahead and replace the T underscore floor 1, so I'm going to go ahead and copy that name, then I'm going to delete it, and we're going to open our folder and just drag the new one in, so that will go in there. Just going to minimize that, and then I'm just going to paste that name in there, just to carry on staying organized. Materials, click and drag that in, and as you can see, they line up perfectly, which is perfect. So, and obviously invisible faces for the faces we are never going to see inside the game. Once again, just kicking in with that optimization. Now we can go ahead, and if I look inside, you can see the actual cube. I'm going to go floor 1 OBJ, and I'm actually going to click and drag it out. I'm going to hit continue because I don't mind about breaking the prefab. I'm going to hit delete, so we literally just have the mesh. And on that mesh, we're going to go to component, physics, and we're going to go ahead and add in we can use mesh collider. I'm going to go ahead and add in a mesh collider. So now if I click and drag our first person controller on, if I click maximize and I hit play, you see we can now walk on it. Even the ramp works, everything works. So I'm going to quickly unplay that, unplay, and I'm actually going to enlarge it to the scale which we need. Now if you can remember, when making it, I said I want the player to be able to fit on there and have some space, to fit on the ramp and still have some space. So if I look now, there we have plenty of space. That's actually roughly the right scale. So now, just to be exact, I'm going to put that all to 2, and I'm going to assume that everything we make now, the scale has to be doubled. So thank you for watching this episode, and I'm going to go ahead and save this quick. New folder, scenes, and I'm just going to have Hangar 1. I'm going to go ahead and save. And next episode, we're going to take a look at texture in this floor. So stay tuned for that, and thank you for watching.